Hi, I'm Kurt Smith. I'd like to welcome you to AppTalks, a series of ongoing conversations we'll be having with Salesforce customers on how they're harnessing the power of the App Exchange to connect to their customers in entirely new ways. And today I'm really pleased to welcome Steve DeMarco, who is the Vice President of Worldwide Sales at Xactly. Steve, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Thanks, Kurt. As Kurt mentioned, I'm Steve DeMarco. I'm the Vice President of Worldwide Sales for Xactly Corporation. Xactly is a 9-year-old cloud software company that helps companies of all sizes automate their commission and bonus processes for paying their employees. So as such, we are big believers in driving employee behavior, and we're huge fans of Hoopla. Which Hoopla for us at Xactly has pretty much become the ESPN for our entire sales organization. So we love it.
And Hoopla is an application that makes it easy for you and for others to motivate their sales teams and drive performance.
Absolutely. We use Hoopla throughout our entire sales organization. We use it to display the data from Salesforce.com on everything from who's closing what deal, who's at the top of the leaderboard, performing the highest, all the way to activity-based metrics from our lead generation team, who's making the most phone calls, who's setting up the most meetings. We measure everything in Salesforce, and we use Hoopla to display it to the world and the sales team to make sure they know exactly how they're performing.
Great. So Steve, let's jump right in. We want to talk a little bit this morning on how you've used Hoopla and gamification to really change the way that your sales teams do business and your overall internal culture and how your sales teams work. Can you tell me a little bit, where was exactly when you were starting to look for a gamification solution? And to preface that, would I be safe to assume, since you are an App Exchange partner and a Salesforce customer, one of the first places you looked was the App Exchange?
Absolutely, Kurt, you're spot on. So Xactly, as I mentioned, has been around since 2005. We actually started our company at the Dreamforce in 2005, and we were an inaugural App Exchange partner with Salesforce. Been using Salesforce ever since, and our company's experienced some incredible growth over the past 9 years. A lot of that due to our partnership with Salesforce.com. As we've grown, our company is very big on promoting and creating a vibrant, exciting sales culture. Probably started back when I was first a sales rep in the Silicon Valley back in 1991. Actually, our CEO, Chris Cabrera, and I were both telesales reps together at a company in Mountain View called Silicon Graphics. Some old timers in the Valley might remember them. It was a very positive experience for us at Silicon Graphics. We were in a telesales organization that was high growth, and we just remembered it being a very vibrant, energetic sales culture, driving reps to perform. They didn't have to ask us to come in early every day. We wanted to, because we were competitive and we wanted to win. So we had a great experience there, and when Chris founded the company in 2005, founded Xactly, brought me on board as the first salesperson, we wanted to create that exact same type of culture. The good news was in 2005, there were many more tools and technology at our disposal, the first of which was Salesforce.com. But as we continued to grow and gamification and sales rep engagement began coming to the forefront as strategic weapons you can use to drive and motivate your sales rep behavior, we started looking into different solutions to help us to that end. So of course we went to the App Exchange when we decided about 4 years ago to branch out. What I mean by that is we started a big office in Denver, Colorado to augment our sales organization in San Jose. We started the Denver office with only 3 folks. We were going to focus them on selling to the small and medium businesses, a new market that we were attacking. And we had to figure out a way that we could get those sales reps more engaged because they were going to be in this remote office out in Denver. So we looked and found a phenomenal tool called Hoopla that I am now an enormous fan of. It was very easy to implement, and it's a great tool to foster and promote, that high energy winning culture by displaying leaderboards and making sure sales reps know exactly where they stand amongst their peers, and really creating that fun, competitive sales environment. So now we have about 60 people out in Denver.
Wow.
And Hoopla is a big part of that sales culture, and making sure that our teams are always striving to win.
And how did, when you first engaged with Hoopla, how did you see like the first transformation in your organization? You must have been concerned that you had remote employees in Denver, and to make sure that they were motivated, they're showing up on time, and all those sorts of things.
Absolutely.
That must have been part of your big concern as a vice president of worldwide sales.
It really was. I mean, whenever you start a remote office, it's kind of nerve-wracking leaving the mothership. You always want to make sure you can import the culture into the new office. I know Salesforce has done it many times, and we're successful. So this is our first real attempt at that, and so in order to do that, we wanted to bring sort of the headquarters environment out to that remote office. And like I said, Hoopla, which is a phenomenal engagement tool, you can call it gamification, but to me it's that, but it's also just a way to keep your sales reps and your employees really engaged. It was great because it was the tie back to the headquarters, showing all the results. We have TV monitors all over our headquarters sales floor. We have TV monitors all over our Denver sales floor, all looking at the same data, as far as which reps are doing really well. Daily activity and performance metrics flashing up on the screen so that sales reps can see each other and how they're doing and stack ranking against each other.
That's great.
It's just a fun environment.
Did you have, as part of your learning and best practices, as far as where the monitors were and how many you have, do you have a certain ratio between how many salespeople for a monitor and stuff like that?
Yeah, we started with one. We have about 15 now.
Okay.
The more the better. Because monitors are cheap. And so the ROI on that is instantaneous. The more you want every group. The way we kind of did it, Kurt, was we said every single salesperson should be able to look up at some point and see a monitor and see their leaderboard, where they stand, because we're measuring not only quarterly and monthly numbers and metrics, how many deals they've closed and what revenue that they've closed, but even daily activity metrics. So that was sort of the logic. Any rep should be able to look up, see a monitor, and that's how many monitors we have. So we have about 10 or 15 now all over the place.
That's great.
Yeah.